Ready?
Yep.
Yeah, we're good.
All right.
I'll slowly get this up here on my end.
Hey, you already know what it is. Gang, baby. I'm Styles the Prophet.
I'm B Show.
And I'm Jonesy.
Together with the Basement Weirdos, this is the 4G Audio Podcast.
Yeah.
Episode 187. 187 on a motherfucking cop. I just want to say, shout out these shirts, by the way. Dip Black Forever, baby. We went to a little thing on Sunday to celebrate his life, and they were giving out the t-shirts that we all ordered on the thing.
Yeah.
And figured why not wear it on here?
Absolutely, man.
But anyways, the reason we're here, we got a special guest. It's been a long time coming. It's been actually since
episode 47.
Yeah, holy shit.
47,
Yeah, so it's been 140. And we got the Prince of the Cold Capital in the building. Freddie Printz, baby.
Yes, sir. What's going on?
Not
Yo?
much, man. Just chilling. How you doing?
Man, I'm chilling, man. I'm pretty good. I'm cooling. I'm real relaxed, enjoying a nice summer day, It's a good day to have a good day.
It's good, man.
It's a good day to have a good day.
Cheers.
You know what I mean?
Happy
Cheers to
Friday,
that.
man.
Cheers to that, bro.
boys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Look at that.
Jonesy.
Yeah, Prince of the Cold Capital, man. That's funny because I like on the last one you just released Cold Capital, I think.
Yeah, so this one was called The Candidate, but Cold Capital was my
Just
first
before
release.
our last episode or whatever, and man, yeah, ever since then, I'm like, yeah, it's the Cold Capital.
Yeah.
It's Cold Capital, man.
It sticks. It's only fitting, right?
Yeah, I like it though, man. It's especially in the winter. Is it ever the Cold Capital?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think one time it actually hit, like, it was one of the coldest capitals in the world at one point. Like,
Yeah, no
I think it was, I don't know what year it was, I can't remember, but I think one of the years it was either like 2016 or 2014, something like that. It was like,
You got the record?
it hit that for a day, and I was like, wow, it's pretty
Yeah,
fucking cold.
for real.
Cold Capital, man.
So yeah, the candidate came out. I think it's a couple months ago now.
It won, early June, so
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Really?
it seems like a little while, but yeah, early June.
Yeah.
Just a month and a half, really, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
So tell us a bit about that project.
Yeah, so it kind of loosely is inspired by the movie
The Candidate?
The Manchurian Candidate. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so there's the original one, which is like, I think Frank Sinatra was in, like, from the 40s or 50s.
Okay.
And then there's the other one that had like Denzel in it.
Is that
Meryl
Zach
Streep.
Galifianakis in that one, or am I thinking of a different
No,
one?
that's just the Candidate.
Okay,
This
comedy
is the,
one.
What is it, Venturian Candidate?
Venturian.
This one, the Manchurian Candidate.
Manchurian, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was kind of had to do more or less with like mind control and like
Okay.
media
shit.
manipulation. You know
Oh,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Okay.
And I just felt like it was a little fitting in the time, that things were kind of rolling out, and it was inspired by that, but then in real something to kind of tie it to like reality, and the thin line between art and real life is like JFK, like, and his whole assassination. Sorry, not JFK, RFK, and his whole so his brother, Bobby Kennedy, and his whole assassination, and the person that they have in custody that did it, and his whole I guess reason why he was never paroled or anything like that is because he never admitted to actually doing it, because he actually doesn't remember doing the crime. So there's a whole kind of backstory to that. So nonetheless, I thought it was pretty interesting. So I definitely dove down a rabbit hole kind of information, and I was able to kind of just channel that into a body of work that I linked up with the Flair beats, and we cooked up something cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fuck
man,
yeah,
that's
man.
sick.
Yeah, it's sick.
Just from a movie too, like all that body of work from
Yeah, I mean, it's
and some political
To the
history as
idea.
well.
yeah. See, the interesting part was like more or less the political history really got me like stuck for a minute. Like I was
Yeah,
like,
no
whoa,
doubt.
this is crazy, because there's a lot of conspiracy behind it too, right?
Right.
Just
So give me a lesson on RFK.
So Robert Kennedy was a senator.
Okay.
He was running, and he had a speech at the now I think it's not there anymore, but this hotel called the Ambassador Hotel,
Okay.
and that's in Los Angeles, right? And that unfortunately was his last speech, because that's where he was assassinated after the speech by a lone gunman, so they say. But like, it was being broadcasted live. So when he got shot, like, someone was actually kind of speaking about what was happening
Right.
in real time. So just that, and they were able to kind of like pinpoint who it was that quickly, amongst the whole pandemonium of, you know, someone getting assassinated. And yeah, it was an interesting find, and just everything I picked up from it.
Yeah, no doubt.
There's a ton of like conspiracy around like
The
that whole
Kennedys?
Kennedy family,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Like,
Of course,
I was
yeah.
gonna say, and then on top of it, it's weird that, like, you know, they were both fucking
assassinated.
The one disappeared or
Mhm.
whatever and
Yeah.
shit like that.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah.
Yeah, what's that new movie on Netflix with De Niro and Pacino, and it's got the Kennedys involved.
True.
Oh
What's
shit,
it called?
that's
It's
something I
that
definitely want to
Martin
watch.
Scorsese's. It's like 3.5 hours. Oh, it's new. What's it
Oh
called?
yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out
Shit,
then.
yeah, I don't know.
But it revolves around that era in time.
Mhm.
You were talking
Oh,
about the
man.
media and shit, and like the fucking, I forget how you said it, but just like the brainwash type thing, or like the whatever.
Yeah.
But it just made me think of something. I rewatched our episode from before, and it's funny because it's like, it's right not too long, like a couple months before like COVID hit.
Oh
Or
really?
whatever.
Oh shit.
And like, so I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, man, the way we're talking, because you had a show, I think it was January 17th, 2020. And so
Okay.
you were talking about it like in the future, right? Like
Yeah.
it's coming up. And so I was like, man, that means it hasn't even like hit yet. Like we haven't even really heard about this shit yet. I'm like, man, there's like 4 unsuspecting dudes just sitting there fucking talking, you know? And I'm like, holy shit, it's crazy to think like so much
world
has
is about to
happened, you know?
change.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I say all that to say this is, how did COVID affect you in that sense? Like, do you have a lot of shit going on like planned that got fucked up?
I think COVID for me, it like I had things going in the midst of COVID happening, you know. So I was working on things beforehand, and I think it was good and bad. At the time, it was like, oh man, like a lot of things are closed, so a lot of things are put on halt, and I can't really work on the things I wanna accomplish, you know. But the flip side of that was I was able to take more time into what I had created at the time, and I was able to build an even better and greater project around some of the ideas I had that ended up being premature just based on the time that I was given after COVID hit. So I feel like yeah, it was good in hindsight, but at the time I was like, man, this is crazy. Like we can't do anything. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like a blessing and a
So
curse.
yeah, at the time I definitely didn't see the blessing in it, but for sure I would say overall I'm happy that I was able to take the time and really just focus on the important things for sure, but also take time to really perfect what it is that I'm doing, you know.
Yeah.
So,
No,
yeah.
that's sick. I also know too on the last episode too, I said something like I was comparing you to Joey Badass.
Oh yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
oh, you sound like Joey Badass. But you know what's funny is, like, and I always say to him, like, oh, I hate comparing people. But the funny thing is, man, is I've heard people since then. I'm like, yo, I'm like, this guy sounds like fucking Freddie Prince, man. I'm like, yeah, you know, I mean, like, I don't
That's
know,
dope.
I can't
That's
remember
dope.
who, but there's been definitely a couple times where I'm like, yo, it sounds like Freddie Prince. But I always know your voice, like whenever it comes on. Like I got a bunch on my sort of mixed in with all my music.
Mhm.
So I'll just be like, yo, what the fuck, man? I'm like, what the fuck is this song, man? I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I haven't heard this song in a bit. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is that Freddie Prince. I'm like,
Yeah.
fucking right, yeah.
No, that's cool. I mean, that happened to me recently. I was in a room full of people, and I think yeah, one of the people has like never met me before, let alone know what I sound like, you know.
Yeah.
And I guess they had heard like 2 songs that happened to be back to back, and they were like, yo, is that Freddie Prince again? And the fact that he was able to kind of point that out was pretty cool, because, you know, like, this is within maybe well, how long does it take to play 2 songs? Like 6 minutes, you know?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
within 6 minutes, he was able to identify my voice and be like, call back to, you know, it was completely
Yeah.
unrelated, you know? So
Yeah.
that was pretty cool.
It's cool, and like it like stuck with them, or you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Hit that guy right or something, you know? Yeah, I like that. Sorry,
Yeah,
man.
I seen that you're at Miami Swim Week recently.
Yeah, man. That
How's
shit was
that?
cool, bro.
Yeah, no doubt.
Can't say, so, yeah, I was going down more or less just to, I wasn't there for long, but the time that I had was pretty dope. Like, yeah, Miami Swim Week was something else, man. So let me tell you, bro.
Yeah, let's get it.
Yeah, let's hear it.
We pull up, and so it's off of it's pretty much off Collins, I think, right? Collins Avenue, which is like a long strip in Miami.
Okay.
A lot of like nice like hotels and shit, like
Right.
you know, SLS hotel, fucking. So this one's at like, there's a hotel called the Fana, and across the street is the Fana Forum. So I guess they have events there, but it's all related, you know. They have a couple, or I don't even know if I'm saying it right, you know, like, but anyways,
It's
so
all to do with the swim week, you're saying?
all to do with the swim week.
Yeah,
So
okay.
we go there, we're chilling, we're in this big like kind of like waiting area, it has like art there, people
Yeah.
kind of bringing you like wine and cheese and like
yeah.
different drinks. Some of them are free, some of them are not, you know. Different people kind of networking, whatever. But I don't really watch like reality TV that much, you know, so I don't know who's who and shit. But there was people there was that, like, my girl was like, hey, that's this person, and I was like, oh, word, you know. Like that's all I can really say, because I don't really watch reality TV, so I don't know who's who. But there was a couple of like people from TV there that was cool, you know. And then let's say it's like 2 levels. So there's a bottom level, there's people like doing that that like you step on this like platform and a camera spins around you.
Oh, okay.
And it takes like,
Oh,
so
yeah.
there's people doing that,
360,
yeah,
yeah.
360. So there's people doing that at the bottom level. There's people kind of just sitting around, and then a door towards the back opens, and then people start rushing towards the back. Like,
Yeah.
I guess the actual fashion show is about to start, you know.
Right.
So we go in, a lot of people are there. We're like somewhere kind of far away from the door, so by the time we get up there, it's like packed out. A lot of
Yeah.
seats are that we're chilling, trying to kind of sitting by this, like standing by the side, because at this point, I guess there's like 3 rows of chairs. I would say maybe seats. I would say maybe like 70 people. All those were taken up, so there's people kind of standing around at this point. So we're standing to the side a little bit. Then the coordinator of the whole of that event just comes and was like, hey, have you guys been seated? And I were like, nah, you know. We're just, I guess the seats already got taken up. So they just took us like front row.
No way.
And I was like, oh, okay, I don't think this is supposed to happen, because like there's different like tiers of like, there's different bracelets and stuff. We clearly have the bracelets for like just, you know, general shit, you know.
Right.
We're just chilling.
Yeah.
And then yeah, so he just brought us front row, and then
Damn.
we just sat there and we're just chilling. We got like a little to go, a little tote bag or whatever, and it was cool because like I was not expecting that at all. Like I like, it was the first time I ever been to a fashion show of that magnitude of like, you know what I mean. So it was just, things were kind of just rolling, and I was like, oh, this is cool, you know.
Yeah, no doubt.
So
Yeah, that'd be sick, especially like just like it's cool in general, but it's sick to like you're at a place where there's like somewhat famous people. I mean, you didn't know who they were, but obviously
Yeah.
your friend did, right? And it's like cool. I'm like, you know, like not only am I here with all these people, but at the same time, like I just got brought up to front row. Like fucking here you go,
Yeah,
here's your little
yeah.
tote bag.
yeah,
and shit.
yeah.
Like,
See, it was my birthday weekend, right? So
Oh,
I was out there to celebrate my birthday, more or less, you know. So so I guess like it was a surprise that we were going to Miami Swim. She was like, yo, I have something planned, whatever. So when we went to Miami,
yeah.
I didn't know where we were even going. So
Damn.
when we got there, it was like, oh, this is pretty cool. So everything kind of worked out
That's
well, man.
sick,
So
yeah, man.
I was really appreciative of that. But yeah, man, that was just one day or one night of the whole trip, you know. Another night, what did we do? Went to the Versace Mansion,
Oh no way.
and that shit was cool because I watched
Yeah.
something on Netflix, and it was like the Versace story or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it was cool to kind of see the correlation, like, oh yeah, that's the mansion, like whatever, you know. It looks different in person though, I'll tell you that, but pretty much the same deal. But it happened to be like the 25th anniversary of, unfortunately, his death, you know.
Oh,
But
no way.
that was the day, like, you know, July 15th. So just happened to be there. So we just happened to be there on that day, you know. So I don't know if there was a lot more people or, you know, but there was a lot of people there. So, but it was cool, you know. It was like, that was another thing I wasn't
Crazy
expecting to go
experience.
there. So yeah,
It's a huge weekend in Miami. I mean,
There was a lot of things happening, I guess, in that. I'm sure
to
there's.
be in Miami alone, let alone
I'm sure there's a lot of things that happen in Miami, but you know, those were just two things that stood out. You know, among other things that we did. You know, there's a lot of art in Miami. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
And that's something that
Like out in public or like?
just out in public, like especially in the neighborhood. Like I went to Wynwood, which is a neighborhood that has like, literally, it has an outdoor art museum. Literally, like, you know, and it was free for the longest time, but then COVID kind of changed things. So now that it's reopened, I think they've added a fee for the entry, but nonetheless, it's still a dope experience, because like I'm a person that I enjoy art of all mediums, you know, but when it comes to like just different street art and paintings and whatnot, I really take a liking to them. So just being able to experience that was cool.
Yeah, they got that mural or whatever it is in Montreal.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
I've never been there, but I was there. Like I was in Montreal recently, and they had like there's all these big like murals and shit, right? And this chick was like, "Yo, that's like the from last year or whatever, right?" So then like this year they'll do like different murals or whatever, you know. And I was like, "Fuck, that's pretty cool, man. I like that type of shit, you know."
Yeah, no, that's I've always been a fan, you know. Like I don't have a big collection, but like, I think since like maybe 2015, I just collected little pieces of art. A lot of them are Ottawa based artists, you know.
Yeah.
But here and there, like I'll go to different auctions and collect like pieces of art, you know, because it's dope to me. And like my whole mantra of like, you know, bridging the gap between art and sound, like, you know, that's kind of where I kind of try to bridge it, is like, what is this visual piece kind of inspire me to do, if ever, you know. But
yeah, no, I definitely like art in all different kinds too. But do you do any other, like, do you do any painting or like drawing or shit like that?
Yeah, I have, you know. I haven't like put it out there or anything like that, but yeah, no, I definitely have, like just in I think my strong point definitely is the language arts, you know. So
Yeah, okay.
I've done like written poems before, you know, written different genres of music, you know. That's kind of my go-to. But what I really would like to do is kind of get into just writing different like small, like maybe scripts, you know, things of that nature. Like I've written short stories before too, you know.
Okay.
You know, but yeah, just kind of explore the different like areas and avenues of writing, you know, because I feel like that's a strong point that I have of mine. So, you know, why not explore that? It doesn't necessarily have to be boxed in 16 bars or 32 bars or whatever the case may be, you know.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. It's like even whenever you said something about being like the master at language or however you said it.
Yeah,
like,
no, it would be cool to be that, but like I feel like
it's different. I'm just saying there's different things, right? Like it's to like if you're good at writing fucking 16 bars, who's to say that you're not gonna fucking write in, like you said, like scripts and shit, you know?
Yeah.
It's a craft, right? You're just honing your craft, whether it's like
Storytelling,
what form it's in, it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it's how you use the words or whatever.
Are you into movies and all that?
I would say I'm a bit of a movie buff. Like
What's your favorite movie right now?
right now,
Like, it doesn't have to be a new movie. Just right now, what are you feeling?
like I really like the cinematography and the story behind like Crash, how everything's kind of like.
It's a great one with Matthew Dillon, and it's a bit of an older movie.
Exactly.
It's a
It's
really good
old,
movie.
yeah, but
all the
just
different points of views that come together.
They literally
in
crash
the end,
together,
yeah.
and that's something that's like, if I were to write a story like that or like be a part of a script, I'd like to be a part of a very thought-provoking script like that,
Like
you know.
that, yeah, right.
But not to say like I like comedy a lot. Like like, you know what I mean? If I could laugh every day, like my life is set, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, like so to answer your question, yeah, I would be like something like that. I would definitely gravitate to, but I'm open to all things though, for sure.
Yeah. I'm big into comedy movies. I feel like anytime I look at shit, I'm just like comedy, man. Like,
Yeah.
and like I like other shit, but I feel like it takes like someone. Like, it's not like they have to force me to watch it, but it's like, oh, like, I'm watching this movie. You want to watch it with me? Like, yeah, sure, I'll watch it. So someone can be like, oh, I'm watching this. I don't really like action movies.
Yeah.
Someone be like, oh, I'm watching this movie. I'm like, well, I'm not going to, like, tell you no. So, like, yeah, throw it on, right? And then I get partway through and I'm like, yeah, like, what next? You know? And I'm like, right into it. But it's like, at first, I'm like, I wish it was a funny movie. And then it's like, next thing you know, I'm like right into it. So I'll try and give other shit chances. Like even whenever I'm sitting by myself, I'm like, I want to watch this funny movie. I'm like, let's see what else there is, you know? Like,
Yeah.
there's more to it, right? Like,
no, exactly. Like I definitely try to explore different. Like for a while, like I was only watching like UK movies for a minute, you know?
Oh, yeah?
Just yeah, like
anything specific?
like a lot of them I can't even remember the name. Like not to hate on them. Like they were great movies, you know.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
like I was going through so many of them. Like it's a blur now, you know. But a lot of them are short films. They
Oh,
weren't like
yeah,
you know long productions or anything like that. You know, they were short films. But yeah, I was going through them for a bit, and yeah, I think they were dope. They're just different perspective, you know.
Yeah.
And I think my thing is like thrillers,
Okay.
and
Dude.
yeah, I would say
Are you
like
into
thrillers and
like
stuff.
Jordan Peele? His films like Get Out and this new one Nope that's coming out.
I watched Get Out.
Did I say that right? Jordan Peele?
I think it's just Peel. Like,
Yeah.
Peele?
Oh, Jordan
Yeah,
Peele.
Jordan
Yeah.
Peele. Yeah, I think
My bad, Jordan.
I think yeah, no, I watched Get Out. I haven't watched the like the other ones that
Us, I think, is the other one is Us.
Okay. Yeah, no, I haven't watched them. But I'd say Get Out was a great perspective of like I would say it's a great perspective of someone's black experience in a white environment that they may not be familiar with. So they're just like, okay, I'm in this new place. I know this one person that knows me,
Yeah.
but everybody else doesn't know me.
Yeah.
But they know me at like, they just see different, and that's clear, you know, and that's fine. But how do I like assimilate into this new crowd
Right.
that this other person that I'm with already assimilated to?
Right.
And there may be some weird nuances that I might not get, and vice versa. There may be some weird nuances that they might get, they might not get, and that is typically the black experience in a new, completely unfamiliar, white dominant, I guess, environment.
Yeah.
And they captured that pretty dope on camera, I would say.
Which one is this? Us?
This is Get Out.
Get Out.
Oh, Get
yeah.
Out.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So
Yeah, I've never seen either of them actually, so I should actually check them out. Especially when you say that, it gives me something to like. It's more like
It gives
what do I
you
say?
like hindsight.
It's like, oh, cool, I
behind
want to
the
see this movie, but at the
insight.
same time, it's like, yeah, it gives me insight. It gives me like, it's like, oh, I have something to learn from that or something. You know what I mean? Even you just saying that, I'm like, oh, I want to see what he's seeing, whether it's from my eyes or you know,
yeah, no,
like,
it's definitely cool, because especially like I would feel like maybe like a couple like that's in a interracial relationship that were to watch it, because it's that kind of experience possibly caught on in film,
Film,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
and they're able to like, it's not in short, so it's just like a lot of times you'll see that maybe in like sitcoms and whatever, and it's 22 minutes really of whatever they capture, so
Right.
they're gonna give you a general like, hey, this is whatever. But in something like a movie like that, they're able to like, I guess, capture different nuances that maybe they could like totally relate to, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Someone in an interracial, like, yo, we actually like, that's fucking great, like, you know what I mean? So that's cool, you know. I feel like all people can like watch it and be like, yo, that's crazy, because I could relate to that, you know.
Yeah.
So I think he did a good job as like the first time coming out as a director. I think it was I think think it
I
was his
thought it
first
was
time.
as well. Yeah.
But if
So it got
if
3.
it's not, then like my bad. But
There's a show called Dear White People.
I saw.
I saw a little bit of that. I feel
I
like
think I saw the first. I know the first season. I don't know if it continued or not, but I think I saw like a couple episodes of the first season, if not the whole season. I can't remember, but it was a while ago though. Yeah, it's not new. Yeah.
They have like. Well, I was just saying it just because you're talking about the story of the Jordan Peele thing. It's kind of like gives you that insight, right?
Yeah.
And, like in it. So I just watched the first season whenever it was out. But then, like, I just saw not long ago, they have another, maybe even 2 seasons.
Okay.
But when the first season ended, it was like, I thought, like, when it ended, I'm like, I feel like the story's not quite over. But I feel like the message that they give you at the end of the first season is like, wow, you know what I mean? And it's enough to be like, you don't even need another season because, like, everything leading up to this point has made me feel this is now the stronger like feeling,
and that's I think that's like to credit, like I feel like good writing, like when you feel like you could write based on the characters being more developed or whatever, but like the point that you were trying to get across is like I got it, you know. When I feel like that definitely goes to good writing, you know. Exactly. So you know that's good writing. But yeah, man, movies, I like funny movies too, bro. Like, not everything gotta be super serious, you know.
For sure.
I like funny
What'd you
movies
say
too.
earlier? Thrillers or what did you say? Thrillers?
Yeah, thrillers, comedies.
I saw this movie, man. It's called Incantation. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say I saw it. I saw like the first 10 minutes of it. It's called Incantation. And like, I don't like to watch movies that have subtitles and then like they're or like dub over.
Yeah, it's hard.
And
it's
like,
hard.
so. But the thing is, I go and I get to my buddy's house, I sit down, I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, well, I'm watching this show, it's called Incantation, and I'm like, or this movie, I'm like, okay, cool. So I started watching it, and I was like, this is a scary movie, isn't it? I'm like, it's gotta be a scary movie. He's like, how do you know? I'm like, it's just something about like not only their voices, but at the same time, I'm like, it just gives me this like eerie feel. Man, so I fucking stepped out to smoke one or whatever, and then I come back and I sit down, he's like, they just said a prayer to protect you from this movie. And I was like, yo, what the fuck did you just say to me?
Are you serious?
And he's like, man, at the start of this movie, he's like, here, I'll rewind it. And he rewinds it, and there's a fucking prayer at the movie that's like to protect you from the movie. And like, I imagine it's just to build up the movie. Like, I don't think it's real.
Sure.
But it's like, they're telling you, like, hey, this is the prayer. This is how you say the prayer. I'm going to give you like a couple moments to say the prayer. And then they say it with you and shit. And then they're like telling you that, like, when stuff happens in the movie, you're supposed to say this prayer to you and it'll like protect you from the movie or whatever. But I just seeing that and like the first little bit I saw, or hearing that and seeing the first little bit I saw, I'm like, I'm gonna watch this movie. I sent it to my brother. I'm like, Incantation, it's a movie. He goes, what is it? And I was like, oh, it's a scary movie. He's like, and you're watching it? And I was like, because I'm not like a big scary movie guy, right? And then I was like, yeah, they said a prayer like to protect you from the movie. He goes, and you're watching it? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know if it's like real, like I don't know, whatever. But then like I just was like, man, it's just a cool idea for a movie, because even like I said, I didn't even see enough of it to be like, oh, I'm into the story. It's just I'm like, that sounds like a cool idea. It must be pretty scary if they're trying to like pretend to protect you from this movie, you know? So I'm like, cool.
No, that's cool. I feel like that would be like you ever watch there was a phase I watched mad horror movies. Do you remember VHS?
Yeah,
I saw that one.
I feel like that.
Oh wait, it's a movie?
Yeah.
I thought you just said VHS.
Yeah, no, VHS like the movie, like, but I feel like there's a couple, right? There's like 3, I think.
Yeah, there is 3.
Yeah, okay. So I feel like it's the prayer shit would be something that would be like on like something VHS would do, you know?
Yeah.
So
I remember even at the start of Blair Witch, there's like that proclaimer, like that pre-warning about like this footage was found.
Oh yeah.
And it like plays it up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a good tactic for sure. And like, but one thing about horror movies, what killed it for me early is I don't know. I think I don't know what class it was, but one of my teachers was like, "Hey, by the way, things move from like left to right? So you go like, so scenery will go left to right, left to right, left to right, and on the fourth one it'll go right to left, and that's what actually fucks you up is that change of pace that quickly. And generally speaking, whether it's the peak point of fear, or it might be the lead up, it's still a kind of good like foreshadowing of like someone's about to die, or it's about to like some shit's about to go down, you know?
Right.
So after knowing that, like I started watching like shit different, you know?
Yeah,
and
right.
I think for a while that kind of was a thing, and I was like, I wasn't scared of horror movies like that, you know?
Yeah, you know
But
what's coming.
I don't know if that's consistent, because I'll tell you, there's some shit out there that's totally off script. That's like,
Yeah.
yo, what's happening right now?
Yeah, someone could be even using that to their advantage. It's
Exactly.
Like, fucking in poker, sometimes I'll do the thing that everyone expects or doesn't expect, or do the opposite of what they expect, or whatever. You know
well,
what
it's
I mean?
all part
It's
of,
like, oh, every time I see, did you take film or something?
Did I take film? No, I wish.
Okay,
I
no,
wish.
just because you're talking about like even just the way the fucking the camera's going and shit like that for certain things, and I was like, wait a sec, maybe he has further education than
No, not in film, not in film. I wish though. Like it's something that I've grown to love that I didn't know really, you know, like just like even down to like music videos, kind of like being a part of my like own treatments for the video. Like, okay, yo, this is kind of what I want to do, you know, like even just like the way it's shot, like, okay, we'll try to get a continuous shot versus like having like clips or like you know being on the camera doing whatever, you know. So
I guess the more you do it, or not even the more you do it, just the more you are watching for that shit, you're basically fucking learning all this shit at the same time.
Yeah. No, and definitely the formal education will definitely only add to what you can do with it, you know. But yeah, no, it's definitely just something I just got into. Just having to make music videos. It's like, okay, well, let's make a dope music video. How do we do that? You know, it starts with a dope idea, and then see how we can make it possible. You know.
Yeah.
For sure.
Speaking of education, though, I guess I brought it up, but I know on the last one we talked about, you said you went to Vanier. And you went to
I did
Ottawa U and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think I know I talked to you about the football and stuff, but I don't think I asked you what you went to school for.
Yeah. I went to school honestly to kick it and you know, take a couple classes on the side, but mostly just to, you know, connect with people. That was.
I went to school just to kick it, and maybe take a couple classes.
You know, that was
cool.
That was my post-secondary experience, you know. But no, I definitely had a liking to just pursue law, and that was my thing. So I was taking classes to get into my program, which was criminology.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, and that was that was the route I was gonna take, you know, just doing that. And not to say that I just didn't complete it all, but I feel like it would be dope to complete it, so definitely
so you'd
try
be
to
like
do that, you know?
like Reed, the guy on the fucking Criminal Minds.
Yeah,
you'd be
probably
like one of those guys or something.
No, what I wanted to do originally, like my original, like, I don't know if it was desire, but like what I thought I wanted to do was be a law clerk, and then possibly work my way through law school, you know, and try to, you know. But no, the cards didn't fold that way, you know. But it's definitely interesting for me, like just that whole field, you know. Then there's something that was interesting to me for a while was actually I don't even know if I want to say this.
No, you don't have to, man.
but yeah, no, it was definitely something I was taking in school, working towards Ottawa U, and you know, school's expensive.
Yeah, for sure.
I did the same thing.
I expected you to say something about math. And then I was gonna have this wicked follow-up question, so I'll follow up anyways.
Math is good, though. Math is good.
What can you tell me about Terence Howard's physics and math?
Yo, I'll tell you this. It's a little off, and he is probably a lot more accomplished than me in just that region of academics, and that's fine. But I don't think anywhere in life, if I had $0 million and you had $0 million and we put it together, it would equal $1 million.
Never. Why, is that what he thinks?
I mean,
I you know what, man?
that's just the layman terms of shit, but yeah.
I dropped the ball
more or
because I was
less.
actually I looked up the videos and I never ended up watching them yet, but I was gonna watch them, be prepared for this so that I could be like, let's talk about it, because I love math and shit, but I don't know anything about this. So
Like-
what, he thinks that something like that could happen?
Well, he thinks that
nothing-
like not everything times 0 is 0, more or less.
But
Right.
wouldn't it, like,
I mean,
have
it
to be?
depends what you're talking
I
about.
guess technically that's only what I've been told, right? But wouldn't it
talking
have to
about
be?
people. Then
Didn't
yeah,
he do like a
the
speech in like
value-
Harvard or something? Like,
Recently, he did a speech in Uganda, and he was saying that this is how I got into the whole.
Well, I saw a thing that
Wow, man.
said it was a post and it said you were explaining the Terence Howard.
Oh yeah, so that started off. So I was on Twitter and I happened to see this thing of Terence Howard in Uganda
Okay.
talking about how he wanted to build more or less like a facility to study the like, I don't know, different shit to like basically make planes and drones obsolete and to have basically a new mechanism that can fly based off not the typical flying pattern of aerial things,
Yeah,
but
okay.
aerodynamics.
So like,
basically he was
It's like
he was
no
saying like
propellers, no
aerodynamics are now
jets.
waves and not necessarily straight lines, so more or less this new device would take advantage of that. Like, I'm doing it in very, very short
no,
form.
yeah, for sure, yeah.
But yeah, like more or less that's what he was saying.
He wants to find a different way to fly, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't know why he went to Uganda to do it. But anyways, long story short, yeah, that's what he was saying, and it just seemed a little weird to me. And
That's weird.
then I jumped into just Terrence Howard-esque things, you know, and then I realized that, like, yeah, he was really challenging people on Twitter about simplified math equations and yeah, just making his own. And I just realized, okay, maybe this guy is up to no good, you know. So
Yeah.
so
Sounds
I
like he's
just
trying to get some money.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
so I kind of just was like, yeah, I gotta bring some attention to this, because this is pretty wild, you know.
I'm definitely gonna look into it because, like I said, I saw it not too long ago, and then I was like, man, I'm gonna look that up for the podcast.
Yeah.
And I know I googled it and I saw the videos, and I might even saved it to my YouTube, but I never ended up watching it.
Yeah,
I'd like to be more into it, or like to get more about it.
But like I've also watched like other things that are not necessarily related to his you know, academic accomplishments or anything like that, you know. It's more like Terrence Howard is not necessarily the nicest person to work with, or like Terrence Howard may be like a bit narcissistic. So then
this guy's an actor too, the Terrence
yeah,
Howard
he's an
I'm
actor.
thinking
He's
of?
an actor.
yeah,
Yeah. And just different things. And I've never met the person, so I don't want to slander this person, you know. But at the same time, like I've like just other accounts of other people that have worked with him are like, yo, this guy's is like different, you know.
Yeah.
And just that alone tied into like just this off shit that he's saying more recently, you know. It's like, this paints a weird picture of you, you know. You kind of looking funny in the light, my guy.
So like, I'm just trying to fucking educate myself here on what even it is that he was talking about. So like, Terrence Howard put this thing on Twitter. It's like when 1 × 1 = 1, it implies that 50% of the potential will be lost at the initial contact. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, but because
You start off with 2 values on one side, and the equation and its process of multiplying them. So basically, he's saying 1 × 1 is 2.
he's saying one. Yeah, he's saying one disappears if you go 1 × 1 is 1.
Right.
By splitting in half.
But you can only
at
put
the end
1
of the
into
equation.
1 time, though.
Yeah.
Not
Exactly.
twice.
So that's what it's saying.
It doesn't necessarily.
Because
But
it's
that's
not
what
about
we
putting
know.
the 2 numbers together. It's about
How many times it goes
having
into
a
it.
number and how many times it goes.
Into that.
Like, you know, and like,
Yeah.
so to be like, even how did he word it? He said
Having
lose
itself, yeah.
Yeah, it's implied that 50% of the potential will be lost
Of the
at the initial contact, which I don't even know what that means.
which is dumb because you put he's saying that when you put the two numbers together, you're losing half of what they equal. Like you said, he's basically saying 1 times 1 is 2.
Which
So-
is if you, it's a big long read.
So
but
the way that we do it, we're taking half of that number away, right? So now it's 2 halves, not 2 ones.
well, I think it's because he's
making
saying
one.
like you can't multiply something by like so like
by itself.
one.
Yeah. Right.
Well,
1 times 1 or 2 times 2.
like 1 multiplied. You can't multiply 1 by 1. I mean, I guess you could,
You
right?
can, but
And it's
that's not
2.
one.
So like, yeah, I don't even
It's
know.
just weird. Yeah, no, it seems, especially the way it's worded, like, and I may not have full understanding of it either, but it basically sounds like he's saying that when you try to do this fucking math or equation, you're losing half of each number for some reason.
That's
Well,
crazy.
When really,
I don't even know how we got onto this topic.
He's-
Yeah,
Yeah,
man, we're not
different
even high yet, and this
Oh, yeah.
and Terrence Howard got us fucking up. Man,
It's
it's
'cause-
crazy.
It's because, like I said, I saw that post and I was like, man, I need to know more about this, and I wanted to see what you knew about it. But like I said, and I was like, maybe that's what I went to school for. Shit, man, I was like, I didn't put all that together. Like I know the last name,
No,
like
no.
whatever. He's like some scientist or
I,
something.
I
Not
wish,
scientist,
I
mathematician
wish,
or whatever.
and then my life work would just be proving Terrence Howard wrong.
Yeah.
Go to Uganda, get them to fund you to prove him wrong.
Yeah.
I might have a bigger, actually, probably not.
Well,
but
maybe, man. Shit, can we smoke?
Yeah, we could smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we
Speaking of
got
getting
a Ryan the Syrian TV in the chats, a Marcelo
James
Fernandez,
oh shoot, what up? What up?
James Collins, Purple Haze, Fonte.
Ryan the Syrian.
Yeah, Ryan the Syrian TV.
Okay, what up?
Is that, do you know him? He's congratulating somebody. I don't know if it's us or you, so
Road to 1K. Oh,
I feel like it's us. Yeah.
Oh.
And
Close
he
to
might
one.
also be friends with James Collins, maybe too.
The man. Mike Tyson,
Marcel.
the best in the world, Brazil champions of
guys hear
Qatar.
about-
Shout
I
out to
don't-
Marcelo.
I will say, where I heard this was my brother told me or talked about it. So like, I didn't actually see any official like article about it, but apparently, fucking, who'd you just say?
Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Mike Jinx. Mike Tyson apparently says he thinks he's gonna die soon.
Oh,
And he
shit.
says the reason why is because he felt over the last little while like a lot of big changes in his body, and he thinks that it's like some sign that he's gonna die or whatever.
Really, eh?
That maybe his body's getting weaker or
Body's
whatever. I
probably
don't know
just slowing
exactly. It
down.
I
was
mean,
like-
he's getting older, right? Like,
oh,
fuck.
exactly. And like, man, I don't know how old he actually is.
I think he's in his 50s.
For sure. I was
Or
gonna say I
60s,
do know
one or
he's
the
over
other,
50
yeah.
because I remember whenever he was 50, I was like, holy shit, Tyson's
Yeah.
50. Like,
Late, yeah, probably 50s for sure. Late 50s, if anyone.
56.
okay,
56,
yeah.
Yeah, 56. I remember hearing somewhere he was
It's
56.
younger
So
than
I think.
my own parents.
But I mean, see, if you fucking work out that hard and fucking do cocaine that hard for a long period
Oh
of time.
man.
Oh yeah, he was into all that.
It'll
I
catch
didn't
up to
know
you.
that.
Cocaine?
Yeah,
Oh man.
I didn't know
It's
that.
the
Like, I
80s,
know.
bro.
I
Yeah,
thought he
no,
was a
he-
pretty straight kind
There's
of guy
actually, well,
for
yeah,
a
he
while.
didn't drink
and then,
coffee, man. He never drank coffee in his life, so I
Yeah.
could see that. But no, there's a story of fucking Steve-O, well, whatever.
It's
But
crazy.
Steve-O it was before Steve-O was like really, really famous, and he was at like
Okay.
some fucking like award party or whatever, and he's like, everyone's like, yeah, we're going to this party or whatever, right? But he's like, I was like on a lower level, so I wasn't very famous, so they weren't
Right,
inviting me, right?
right.
So he's like, someone gave, or he like heard the address or whatever, right? So he decided he was gonna go to this party.
yeah.
So he shows up to the party and fucking knocks on the door, and fucking Mike Tyson answers the door. And fucking he said like the door opens and he's like, it's just like a split second, like he puts his like big arm around him, like around his neck, and like pulls him into the fucking into the house or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, come on, and he closes the door and she's like, come on. He's like, party's in here. And then he stops. He goes, do you have any cocaine? And he's like, not only do I have cocaine, I have a lot.
Yeah.
Shit. Said he had fucking 2 bags, like one in each pocket.
Holy fuck.
Excuse me, sorry. They go into the washroom, and then the washroom, and it's not even Mike Tyson's house. Like they're at somebody else's house.
Okay.
And I guess they sat in this washroom till like the party was over, and they go in the washroom. And he said the whole time they're sitting there, Mike Tyson's like taking a cigarette, and he's like unrolling the tobacco out of the cigarette, and fucking Steve was putting out the rails, and they're sitting there doing rails, and they're talking, and they're fucking whatever. and he said he's trying to figure out what Mike Tyson's doing with this fucking cigarette. He eventually gets it all out, and then he starts like tapping it on the pile of coke, and it's like building up inside the fucking cigarette. And he said eventually he fills this whole fucking cigarette up with coke, and he fucking smokes it.
Oh,
yeah, man.
How does that even smoke?
Oh, that's what I was like, what the fuck? That seems weird. I've heard of it with tobacco, but Steve-O said he emptied the whole cigarette out, filled the whole thing up with cocaine, and sat there and smoked it, and like fucking. But he's telling all these like stories that Mike Tyson's is telling him and all this shit and like whatever. I'm surprised you never heard that though.
No, well, I just learned something about Mike Tyson the other day that I never knew about before. It's about his daughter. We won't get into it, but it's about his daughter. I don't want to go off on.
I don't know anything.
Do you know about it? Well, he had a 4-year-old daughter who passed away on a treadmill. She jumped onto a treadmill, I guess.
Yes.
I had no idea.
About that,
no idea. I was like, man, that's
But
crazy.
I only learned that recently too, like maybe like within a year.
Okay.
Like yeah.
Probably just started to talk about it now that he's been doing podcasts and everywhere. But anyway.
But yeah, no, my brother was saying that he says, and I mean at the same time too though, like it's like a race car driver, right? Like the mechanics and shit can only do so much. You got the guy that fixes the engine, the guy that tunes the engine, the guy that fixes the fucking like wheels and like, you know what I mean, makes it go around and shit, right? But the guy actually sitting in the car driving it and going around the corner at that speed is the only one that's gonna be able to test and go, oh, something's fucking wrong there, right?
That's
so
true.
The doctor could check him out all they want and be like, yeah, you're good for another 10 years, but he could be like, something's up, you know, like
he might know something that, you know, and no one else knows, you know?
That's it. He knows his body better than
especially
anybody
that
else.
type of machine too, like in the race car sense, but also in the like extreme athlete sense like that too. Like the guy was just fucking boxing not long ago too, you know, so it's like he would know. It's not like he's fucking overweight, fucking, you know, eating unhealthy and
in
shit.
tune
He's
with
like
his
running
body.
like this, so he's like, oh, something's not running perfect here. But at the same time too, fuck, how do you know he's not just
it's probably just
sicker,
age,
like
and he's just, you know, he's not
just
used
tripping
to it. Has
out,
that
not used
Hannibal
to
mentality where he's like, I gotta be strong and fit.
yeah, it's over.
Yeah, but he at the same time he seems like he's a pretty humble guy all in all, you know. So I mean, I don't know. I think he might know, like, hey, there's something that might be off, and then, you know, in a year from now the doctor might be like, hey, you know, this is what we like, hopefully not, you know, knock on wood, you know,
fingers crossed.
Yeah,
we need his entertainment for another little while here.
It wouldn't be the first time Styles has talked about someone dying and then they actually do.
Oh shit! Anyways,
that's fair. That's totally fair.
So I saw that you performed at a cranium event not long ago.
Yeah, man.
I just figured I'd jump the topic while Jordan brought it.
That's good, man.
Yeah, the Cranium Arts Project.
Yeah, it was a Cranium show. Showcase, sorry.
Right, showcase, yes.
And there was a couple artists that performed. There was a couple people that came up, and they were part of like different festivals, different associations or whatnot that either put on shows or are a part of music and whatnot. So, you know, there was a conference and like different, what do you call it? Yeah, I guess like different conferences of other, you know, like.
From outside of the city even? Or?
Yeah, from outside of the city, within the city, you know. So it was a cool weekend, you know. And, the performance went well. It was pretty dope.
Nice. Was it outside?
Yeah, it was outside. People came through Bank Street. Shut down a portion of Bank Street. They had it. It was like a block party and whatnot. It was, it was dope.
Yeah, no doubt,
it looked like a time, man. It looked like there was lots of people too. Like, I mean, like lots of people performing, anyways.
Yeah, no, it was, it was me, myself, Misha, Leah Cloud, Easy Finesse.
Easy Finesse, is that the girl? Is she a battle rapper?
No, she's not a battle rapper. Well, maybe she does battle rap, but no, I don't know her to battle rap. But she, she's dope. She's from the South. She's a dope rapper. And then there's Ilya Rose, Naledi, Joe Guez, and I don't know if I'm missing anybody. Hopefully I'm not. But and Lance Lorenzo, that's a fact. He did his thing too. I think that's about it. But it was cool. It was cool. performing is dope. Haven't done it in a minute, but
I was gonna ask.
it was cool.
Was that your first performance after COVID, or have you done a few shows since?
No, I've done a few things, like even just releasing. I'm good, my G. Just releasing the project. Like we had a release party. You know, went through the tracks there.
For the candidate.
Yeah, for the candidate.
Nice.
And I performed at like in Kingston at like Queens, where they had like
That'd be pretty big. I went to school in Kingston.
Oh
so
yeah,
I know
okay,
how the turn-ups are.
Yeah, no, it happened to be their convocation day, and they also had like at the I get the Agatha, like it's like a conference center.
Right. Yeah. That's around campus.
Yeah. Yeah. So they had something going on as well too. So that was cool. That was a cool experience.
Nice.
And that's pretty. And then of course the showcase as well. So no, there was a few things leading up to the showcase for sure.
Nice. And do you have any upcoming shows for the rest of the summer or anything?
Yeah, no, for the summer, yeah, there might be a few that I might pop up on, you know, but none of my own for sure. I don't have anything booked myself, but in the fall, you know, I'll be doing some cool things for sure. So, you know, look out for that.
Fuck, there's something you guys are saying, and I forget what I was gonna say about it, but something that I wanted to ask you though. I feel like this is gonna be a part where I fucking go back to a couple little things here real quick, but the candidate. I noticed you did hard copies too.
Yeah.
And what I wanted to ask, what made you, like, I mean, like lots of people do it, and I know it's not a thing. I'm not like challenging you on your decision, but I'm just wondering what made you do that. Like, what was your decision to do that? What made you decide?
My decision for doing the hard copies is that, like, within a digital space, you know, I think because there was like original artwork that was attached to it, like the person that did like the painting, that's Mel B. That's actually, she was from here. She's a dope artist as well too. And on the reverse side, the flip of the pen, the candidate pen, that was Life of Bad News. So just having the hard copy of the artwork, I feel like people were able to have like a piece of it, whether like just a physical piece of it, you know what I mean? Because I really wanted to showcase the actual artwork, because like I actually have a piece, like I like the original cover, like I actually have it in my house.
Okay.
So
like
not every the actual art for it. So not every like, so like my thing is now when I release music, a lot of it will have like an associated original art piece to it, you know what I mean? So
I like that, man.
Yeah, it's just something for like, even like for when I like for my family, like my catalog may build as but the worth of this art piece may build as well, and that's something that I could keep in my family for a long period of time, you know. So not only the music is timeless, but like there's a physical piece of the music that's actually there, that's like, you know what I mean, there's thought that went into
it's almost like that limited type shit too, right? Where it's like get it now, right? And then you have that thing. So later it's like, yo, I got that thing at the time when you're supposed to get that thing. Or whatever,
exactly.
You know? I like that though.
Exactly. So just the reason why, to answer your question, the reason why there's hard copies is because there's an original piece that actually is out there that I have, that I wanted to share with the people that were interested in the music that I was making at the time, and they were able to actually have a physical piece of the artwork, even if they don't have the original artwork. You know, it's kind of like my extension. You know. So.
Fuck yeah, no, it's sick, man.
Yeah, I love hard copies. I used to collect CDs, man.
Okay,
buy CDs and just.
Yeah, even man, I don't have anywhere to fucking put them now.
That's
like,
the thing.
Yeah,
but it's cool to have that thing, right? Like
exactly. Like I made a limited, like, and I would have brought some for you guys too, but I literally I forgot. my bad.
No, it's good, right?
But I literally there's like 5 left, so I made like a limited edition. I think I had 50 of them. and they all sold except for like there's like I think maybe 5 left now. So
shit, man, save us one. I'll pay for it.
so yeah, no, for sure,
Yeah,
for
we'll
sure.
put it on the wall.
So yeah, no, I'll definitely save you a copy. But yeah, so just having that like limited edition, just and kind of like it's cool to actually have some like and actually kind of appreciate that like I do have like some sort of a fan base out there, whether it be family, friends, and some of them I don't know at all, you know what I mean? And it's just like they're actually sharing this experience kind of and having it in real time, like, yo, I remember where I was when I got this, or like, yo, this is like I was like I played this because I was going through this when I first heard it, or whatever the case may be,
or
you
even
know?
too, just the way you were saying that, like just the like you physically have 50 fucking CDs in front of you, and then you don't anymore, and it's just that's a physical representation of that fan base, rather than like, oh yeah, you get the number, it comes in, and you're like, I got this many listens or whatever,
Exactly.
which is cool too, I'm sure. But I just the way you're describing that, like, you know what, man, it almost be like, man, look at like, yeah, like, here's proof, like they're gone.
That was cool, like, because like
they're real.
It's a real, it's tangible, like, yeah, they have barcodes, like I can, those are physical, like those go into like the streams, like I have to sell a couple for it to count as an album, but but yeah, like that would count as whatever, you know, like I had like it got like pretty good streams, I guess, on like Spotify and stuff like that, you know, just like based on like just different playlists that it happened to be in. But my like, and that's dope, like I'm really appreciative of that. But I find like the biggest feat is like the physical copies that were there one day and then not there another day, and just like the fact that it was sent like all over Ontario, not necessarily Ottawa, you know, it's like, you know, just people. So I was like, man, this is dope. So I would love to just expand on that, because not only is that feeling dope for me, but it's dope for me to like to know that like, yo, someone's actually has this like exciting feeling about this piece of music that's coming in that like came from my head, like, and now it's, you know what I mean, on a physical piece of
world. Like,
you know
you
what
said,
I mean?
it's not just your family and friends and shit either.
Yeah.
It's like people you don't know from places you don't know or whatever, you know.
So it's just doing that. It's just, you know, like, of course everything is like very like nothing's astronomical, everything's on a very humble basis, and it's like, you know, I'm sure it's a friend of a friend, and I'm sure there's some sort of 6 degrees of separation that I may know the people that are purchasing the CD and whatnot, but to know that, oh, like this played in like some hood in the UK, and it played like 100 times or whatever the case, that's cool as well, you know what I mean? Like, but it's just not as tangible, you know what I mean? You can't like, so I definitely appreciate all the people that purchased any of the CDs, you know, that purchased the downloads, anything, you know. I appreciate you guys for real, because
shout out those guys,
you know.
So something that I asked you on the last one, and you had one answer. I'm gonna see if your answer has changed, but you got any bars for us?
I do have some bars for you guys, you know.
Yeah.
As you know, I have a series. It's called Nefarious Hours.
Yeah.
So you guys got to stay tuned to my Instagram. My Instagram is Freddy Printz, no spaces, FreddyPrintz. And you know what I mean? I do drop bars on a sub-weekly basis, you know what I mean? So if you want the bars, I would drop them for you now, but why not tune in and get the get the real, you know what I mean?
That's
the real raw
smart.
production, you feel me? So
So
tune into my IG, you know what I mean, and you'll get the bars, because you know I have bars. They told you.
Absolutely.
So if you really want them, you know what I mean, come follow me on IG.
I saw your bars on a place where the only code is bars.
That's what's up. So you already know.
Shit, man, that's fucking smart, man. That's because go there and watch them. Seriously, no, I like that, man. That's awesome. At Freddy Printz with a Z, Printz.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be somewhere on the screen, you know what I mean?
Yeah. There should be a link in the description at some point. No, that's crazy. That's actually shit, that's a smart idea, man.
Absolutely, it
with
is.
the thing. But I just gotta say one thing though. You said nefarious. So you have the song Nefarious too.
Yes,
and I
sir.
believe it came out just not long after we did our first podcast.
You're right.
And I remember, so that's one of the songs that comes on my playlist, right? And so I went to the bank one day, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I had, what did I have? Oh, so I have like a beer bottle. It's like this tall. It's like 3.5 feet tall or some shit.
Oh shoot. Okay.
And it's I stuff it full of like change and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So like I don't spend any of my change. I just put it all in there. So I'll come home
Smart.
some days, like I'll go shopping or some shit. And I'll come home days I'll have like $30 in change. So one year, man, I had like $1,600.
Sheesh.
Like just before Christmas, I went and cashed it all in, right? So anyway, short story long as I do that. So then I go to the bank one day. I walk up to the bank too, and I walk up to the bank. And I get there and I got this fucking thing. No, actually, whatever. Anyways, doesn't matter. But I walk up, I got this thing, full of like it just looked like a fucking bank robber. I got a bag like just full of change. Like, yeah, it's all rolled up and shit, but just there's a couple $100 and shit too, right? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I'll roll up and I'll do this. And I never really planned for like, what if I can't change it in? And I guess I left my wallet at home, so I had no other money on me. But I was going to go like to the restaurant to eat, and I was like, shit. So I don't have my wallet on me, but I've like gone in there before. I live in a small town, so I've gone in there before, and they're like, yeah, sure, like
we know you.
come this way, yeah, you know. So on top of it, I'm putting money in, right? Like I've had like people go and put money in my account, like whenever I was like out of town or whatever.
Okay.
I got my dad go in. Here's the bank number. Put the money in, right?
Yeah.
Because you're not doing anything bad.
It's easy enough to put the money out. It's taking the money out.
Yeah.
Put the money in, but take the money out.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
different. Yeah.
So I go in. I'm like, hey, I'm like, sorry, I forgot my bank card and shit and whatever. Like I don't have any ID or anything, but like I have my app and I can get my information so you can find my account and stuff, and I'll just put the money in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like she looked bitchy. Like she just looked like a bitch. And she goes, oh, I'm sorry, I can't do that. And I was like, oh, like, are you sure? I'm like, is there somebody else I could talk to? And she's like, no. She's like, they won't let you do it either. I'm like, but like, all I'm really doing is putting money in. So even if it wasn't my account, like, what's the big deal? You know? And she's like, you'd be surprised the nefarious stuff that can happen. And I was just like, no way, you just said that. I'm like, what the fuck? And still that rings in my my head to this day. Like, you'd be surprised at the nefarious things that can happen. And the only reason I know what nefarious means is because of your song. So
That's
what the fuck
dope.
is nefarious anyways? And I like looked it up. So now this chick says it to me and I'm like, what the fuck did you just say? And like I leave with this fucking thing of change. I'm like, man, I just want to throw it away. Like, what the fuck? I'm all pissed off. I'm like, now I can't go to the restaurant either.
no.
I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
shit, 'cause I
You
didn't
could
bring
try
my
to pay
wallet
the
or
restaurant
any
with all
money.
the change.
Yeah, really, yeah. Like, here you go, fuck. But at least it was
I'm all in.
Yeah. No, it was. I always like thought it was a cool word. You know what I mean? And I was
Yeah.
like, I'm never like when's the last time I'm or when's the next time I'm gonna use this like
Right.
in a bar, you know? So
Yeah.
I just figured the song was, about, I don't know, nefarious acts. I was like, all right, cool.
It's badass.
Let me just put that as the name. And then I'm like, not a lot of people are gonna call a song nefarious, let alone know what nefarious even means. So
Yeah,
at least if I'm doing one thing, I'm educating the kids, yo.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, really though, I actually now know what it means, and I can use it in a sentence.
Yeah.
And when she said that to me, I knew what it
You
meant.
knew what it meant.
There you
yeah.
go.
Yeah, you know.
Look at hip hop just
Playing ball.
teaching the world,
Yeah,
bruh.
exactly.
Actually, you know what, man? You'd be surprised. There's a lot of stuff that I heard in hip hop, just like other than like slang and shit, like just actual words. I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean, man?
That's
I'm
true.
like, shit,
Yeah.
I want to know what it means,
For
like
sure,
to fit
man.
all this shit in. And then yeah, I've actually learned stuff just from hip hop. But it's getting a little later. I know you got to get off to your thing.
Yeah.
Just real quick, actually, what is it you're going to?
I'm just I'm going in preparation for something, so it's not yet. So let me not drop the cat out of the bag just in
Yeah,
case.
yeah,
You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah. Okay.
We have tornadoes and shit that's shut down the whole city. Rogers might be acting up again. Who knows?
Shit.
So.
Very true.
There's gonna be events in the city that I'm gonna help out at. So I'll see you guys around. or I'll see y'all around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Fuck yeah, it's sick, man.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time.
Thanks for coming
Thank
through.
you guys for having me. Always.
It's always a good time. Yeah, we'll have to have you come through again, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
it's
I
always-
mean, I'll definitely
Sooner
be
than
dropping music. Yeah, I know it's been literally 140 episodes, huh?
So it's,
Yo, I was heating up. You guys were heating up. We come together, make it hot.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
Fucking right, man.
No, we'll do it again for sure.
So yeah, no, that's for sure. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot.
Much respect.
Love.
Okay, everybody out there, thanks for tuning in. It's been another episode of the 4G Audio Podcast. This is episode 187. Imagine that, eh? That's crazy.
187,
Not
man.
only is that a lot, but it's also 187.
That's right. We're almost the 10 episode countdown.
homicide.
To
This is the deep cover
sorry.
episode
I
right
took
here.
From that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I took from that. Sorry.
Any motherfucking way. I just want to say one more big
Yeah,
ups.
man.
Rest in peace, Dip Black.
Yes, sir.
You already know what it is. I actually really love this shirt, by the way. I forget the
Yeah.
name of the guy that makes them. The things on the back, DZ or something. Or now I feel
I don't
bad.
know.
Anyways,
You should frame it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I wasn't even gonna wear it, and then this is today the first time I actually wore it because I thought, why not? And then he wore his. So I'm like, nah, I have to.
Felt like it was proper a
Yeah.
little bit. So
I actually
yeah.
made. If you go on our Instagram, you can see there's a picture I think somewhere, and there's a T-shirt I made or like a
Yeah.
like,
Wrote on the back.
yeah. Any motherfucking way. Again, thanks for tuning in. Peace out. I'm Sal's the Prophet.
I'm B Show.
And I'm Jonesy.
Together with the Basement Weirdos, it's a 4G Audio Podcast. Episode 187 comes to an end right now.